State your name.
Ryland Grace. I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment. And I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. With the rest of us.
The sun
Is dying. You are the only scientist who might know what this says.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
You have a doctorate in molecular biology. I need you to come with us. This is Project Hail Mary. The sun is not the only star dying. Every star was infected by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
We don't know.
Which is why we built a ship to go there and find out.
It's 11.9 light years away. The astronauts die in space.
It's what you Americans would call a long shot.
Hail Mary. I get it. Who on earth is going to sign up for this?
Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show, and I'm continuing my new thing of trying to do more video reviews. I have a new kind of friend, benefactor, sponsor who has helped me out with a bit of podcasting gear to maybe make these sound look a little better, hopefully. We'll see. So this is a bit of a tough review to do because it's for Project Hail Mary, a new movie from Amazon MGM. It's based on the Andy Weir novel. He also wrote the novel The Martian, which was made into a movie by Ridley Scott, starring Matt Damon, Emily Blunt. Great cast, amazing movie. Love that movie. I haven't read Andy Weir's book, unlike a lot of my colleagues who basically read it as soon as they heard it was being made into a movie. I wish I could do that kind of stuff. I just don't have time for that kind of thing. This is going to be a tough review to parse because I didn't hate the movie, but I also didn't love it. I kind of just liked it. And I saw it after some of my colleagues, especially in LA, had already seen it. They were already raving about it. A lot of them had read the book by Andy. I had not read the book by Andy. I also didn't read the book Wuthering Heights, or I don't remember reading the book Wuthering Heights, but I love that movie. And this one, I did not read the book, and I didn't go into this with some huge expectations from the book about how great it would be. I just kind of went into it like any other movie. I mean, just for comparison, I literally saw it in IMAX 70 millimeter, which at the AMC 68th Street uptown. It is one of the premier IMAX 70 millimeter theaters in the world, actually. It's one of Christopher Nolan's favorite theaters. Oddly, I'd been to that same theater the night before for Scream 7, which was really kind of surprising. It was being shown in IMAX at all, but I was in the exact same theater. I was almost in the exact same seat I was the night before. This was like a 2 p.m. screening. I had just seen Pixar's Hoppers early in the morning, and I really loved that. And then I went uptown to see this. I was really looking forward to it because I'd heard lots of great things about it. I'm a big fan of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who originally did 21 Jump Street. They did the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies. They produced the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movies. They're pretty bona fide filmmakers. So after hearing all these great things and going to see it, I was just very excited. Even though I hadn't read the book, I was like, okay, cool. This will be a kind of an interesting movie for Ryan Gosling. I wouldn't say it's like a solo movie, just him, because it's him and an alien he names Rocky. We'll get into that in a little bit. It's a very science nerdy type movie, very similar to The Martian. But it's also, it has problems. It has problems both technically, in terms of the storytelling, in terms of Ryan Gosling. I've been a fan of Ryan Gosling going back to The Believer, which was his big breakout at Sundance, and Half Nelson, which was also a big Sundance breakout maybe the following year. I actually just did a interview with the filmmakers of the Half Nelson a few weeks ago. Yeah, big Ryan Gosling fan, very excited for him to do a big movie like this. Big outer space science fiction movie. Maybe it's called Space Opera. I don't know. But I've seen a lot of good movies like this. I've seen a lot of movies in this vein that I love. Arrival, Interstellar, Gravity. Even going back to Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I am not a huge fan of. I mean, a lot of people love it. It's considered a classic. It's a very influential movie for the science fiction genre, for films, for cinema. I don't think it's one of Kubrick's better movies. I think it drags a bit. It's got some great moments. But anyway, I'm not here to review 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm here to review Project Hail Mary. So I'm going to get into the plot a little bit. If you've read the novel by Andy Weir, you already know the plot. It basically involves Ryan Gosling playing Ryland Grace, who's a middle school science teacher who's called on by the government to deal with a massive incident that's threatening the Earth. It's not an uncommon sci-fi premise. It's happened a lot. In this case, it's very, very nerdy. It's got a lot of like things that, may not be immediately easy to understand. At least that's my problem. We'll get this into a little bit, but it's also like told in a non-linear way. When we first meet Ryan Gosling's Will Grace, we actually meet him in space. He is actually in space already. He seems to be alone on the spaceship, but we finds out that the other people on the spaceship, he had two other people on the spaceship with him who died during the long sleep they get put into. They get put into like a cryo sleep because they have to travel light years away from Earth for this mission. We really learn about the mission kind of as we also meet Ryland on his space travel. We don't really know why a middle school science teacher is in space. We learn that as the film goes along. It uses like a nonlinear method of going back and forth between present day space and flashbacks in the past. I'm not going to get into too much of the nerdy science stuff. There's a lot. Basically, there's some kind of fuel called astrophage, which is using for rocket fuel to get to this distant star called Tau Ceti, which I don't even know if I can explain it. But basically, there's this strange amount of like things which are just kind of like destroying stars. And apparently they're going to come and destroy Earth also. Again, having not read the book, I'm getting this all from watching the movie. And that's kind of part of the problem because I found a lot of just having Ryan Gosling in a spaceship just very boring. I was seriously dozing off. And this is like a movie gets everyone so excited. And I'm sitting there just kind of just going to really just dozing off because of it. Just a lot of the science stuff is kind of dull. Ryan Gosling is just kind of doing his normal thing. We're just like, oh, I'm Ryan Gosling. It doesn't really fit the tone so well. I keep going back to The Martian and how great Matt Damon was in that movie. And what a great movie that Ridley Scott made. He didn't feel the need to go do all this back and forth and flashback. I mean, yes, we kind of spent a lot of time with Matt Damon on Mars and then cut to Earth and it cut to the spaceship that's going to come try to rescue him. But in this case, most of it is just Ryan Gosling in this spaceship. For the first like 40 minutes or more is just him, and then he meets an alien. He names Rocky. It's a cute alien. It's basically like this rocky creature, kind of part puppet, part CG. People are falling in love with Rocky as if he's like the latest Baby Yoda. I thought it was okay. It was a good relationship. It's fun. It's well written. I mean, basically, Drew Goddard, who adapted The Martian for Ridley Scott to direct, also adapted this movie. And he's a great writer. And he's good at doing humor. And he's good at doing this nerdy science stuff. But there were a few things about this movie that just really did not connect with me. And it's partially because I didn't read the book beforehand, maybe. This is not the first time I reviewed a movie without reading the book. But I truly believe that movies should work on their own. That you shouldn't have to read the book. You shouldn't have to know the story in advance. You should just watch this movie and you either connect with Ryan Gosling on this journey or you don't. It took me a long time to connect with him, to connect with Rocky, the relationship. I mean, this very E.T. It's very, I mentioned some other movies before, Interstellar, Arrival, Gravity. Much better movies, much better directors. Yeah, so it was kind of disappointing. I mean, I thought it was okay. It was good. There was some parts that were really great, but a lot of it was just like Ryan Gosling and Rocky. It also stars Sandra Hüller, amazing German actress. She was in Anatomy of a Fall. I can't remember if she got an Oscar nomination or not. I think she did. She basically plays Ryland Grace's handler. We mainly see her in flashbacks when she's trying to, get Grace, as he's called most of the movie, to kind of like figure this out, figure out it's an astrophage thing, figure out what's going on in space, and basically save Earth. And so that's mainly her role. I mean, she's really good. They're really good together. But I mean, otherwise, most of the other characters are kind of like, whatever. Who cares, I mean, again, I wish I loved it more. I mean, again, people are going to compare it to 2001: A Space Odyssey, and again, I don't love 2001: A Space Odyssey. I feel like there's some great moments in it, like really memorable classic moments, but this overall, the whole movie is just the same problems as that one. It's also when you have like other better movies like Arrival or Gravity, dealing with like space exploration and First Contact with Aliens. These have better versions of it. And then I had another problem, and this is going to be very specific. I did see the movie in IMAX 70 millimeter. Everyone has been raving about, oh, you got to see it in IMAX 70 millimeter. You got to see it in 70 millimeter. You got to see it in this large premium format, which costs a lot of money. If I had to pay to see this, I don't have AMC A-list, and so I could go to that same theater. It'd probably cost me like $30 a ticket to go see the movie like that. The problem I have with that is that the way the IMAX 70 millimeter is used, the IMAX 70 millimeter is one of those like 5-story screens. I believe they used IMAX cameras to shoot it. And because of that, they do have the full frame. They are able to use the full 5 stories for the movie. Unfortunately, they mainly use this for the stuff with Ryan Gosling in space. And it's mainly with him in a spaceship. So if you want to see Ryan Gosling 5 stories high a lot of close-up, then yeah, it's great. I mean, so there's some outer space stuff, which is in full frame, 70 millimeter, looks great. All this stuff in flashback is done basically in regular aspect ratio, and there's some great shots there too. There's some great shots of, like, Earth and the big complex where they're doing all this scientific stuff. But no, instead they just literally all the stuff with Ryan Gosling in space is done full frame, including like close scenes in close quarters in the spaceship, which is not necessary. It does not have to be full frame. It doesn't have to be 5 stories high. I should mention that the movie was shot by cinematographer Greg Fraser, who he won an Oscar for Dune Part 1. I actually not think Dune Part 1 looked very good. So that was kind of a thing that when he won the Oscar for Dune Part 1, I was just like, it didn't look that great. Why are you giving him an Oscar for that? And I thought Dune Part 2 looked much better. But he shot this one. And again, there's a lot of stuff which is just Ryan Gosling in a spaceship, whatever. Anything that looked that amazing that it needs to be IMAX 70 millimeter. If I see it again, and I probably will, I will see it in regular. I do want to talk about Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I do like them a lot as people. I've liked a lot of the films and TV work. I think they're very talented guys, very talented writers and producers. Now, as far as directing, I think they're great at comedy. I think they're great comedy directors and writers and producers. This movie, there's comedy, there's humor. I mean, Ryan Gosling is doing the usual, like, I am Ryan Gosling, ha ha ha. But it's not always appropriate. And there's a certain point where, like, well, what's going on Earth? Is all these people have died back on Earth. We see, like, in flashback, I don't want to give it away, but there's like in a flashback, there's like, it's just inappropriate to be making jokes, even if it's going back, flashing back before all that stuff happened. I mean, still, it's just very, very tonally, not great. I don't know. I didn't love it. I was really looking forward to this movie. I'd heard so many great things about it. Even without having read the book, I was just really excited about seeing it. I was excited about seeing an IMAX 70 millimeter because I've seen so many great movies in that theater. I actually liked Scream 7, so, I mean, I'd seen the night before, so I was like, oh, and that looked great. But yeah, I'd say that for Project Hail Mary, I think if you love the book, you read the book, you'll probably love the movie, I'd guess. I'd have to give it like a 7 out of 10, which is not, for me, that's just kind of in the middle. It's in the middle. It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's good. It's a good movie. There are parts of it that I find really boring. There are parts of it I really enjoyed. The third act, or the second to third act, is great. There's some really emotional moments. It took me, they're emotional moments, and Ryan Gosling is a great dramatic actor when he wants to be, but I don't think it earned the emotional moments. And I don't think I liked the character enough that when he got emotional, I was like, oh, poor Ryan Gosling. I was not feeling that way. So anyway, just to reiterate, it's 7 out of 10 for Project Hail Mary. I hope you're liking the video reviews. If you are, comment. If you're not, comment. Just tell me what you think. I love hearing from you. I get so little feedback, and I have so few subscribers, paid subscribers. It's like, I'd like to hear from you. Comment, email me, text, if you have my number. I am. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, this is the Weekend Warrior Show, the review of Project Hail Mary. I have a lot of stuff this week, a bunch of interviews, the usual column. I have some Oscar predictions, lots of stuff this week. I have no idea what order I'm going to get it out there, but this is going to be on Tuesday morning either way, because that's when the embargo is. So anyway, have a good week.
If we do nothing, everything on this planet will go extinct.
You'll find a solution.
You are my solution.
I put the knot in astronaut. I've never done anything. I've never done a space. I can't even moonwalk. I understand the stakes. I do. My place is in the classroom.
The world is counting on you.
This might be very hard for you to understand, but some people are not good at things.
You know who you are. You're gonna do great.
I conquered Zero G in 5 hours. Yeah!
Object approaching.
Oh my God. So, I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, which was a concern for a little while. I'm Grace. I'm gonna call you Rocky. Thumbs up. Nope, that's thumbs down. You would do the thumbs up. It's close enough.